What is going on, guys? Thank you so much for joining me right here on Outside the Brand. This is your AEW Dynamite post-show review for April 20th, 2022. I'm your host, Phil, and of course, this is Outside the Brand. I got a new, I got a guest joining me tonight. It might be a new face to some of y'all, but if you follow him on TikTok, you know him very well. I'm gonna let him introduce himself rather. Lou, what's going on, man? What's up?
No, man, chilling. You guys can follow me on TikTok, Lewis_48722. Make sure you guys follow our podcast, Wrestling Chop Shop. We recently had Phil on there doing a awesome WWE AEW draft. You know, it was pretty dope. So I thought, return the favor, hop on Outside the Brand. You know, since we brought him on. I thought it was a pretty good idea to put myself on here.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. When it comes to AEW Dynamite tonight, I thought it was a good show. We had some good wrestling here tonight on the show. We had a main event between Darby and Andrade. We'll get to that, obviously. It was a coffin match. And we had two superstars qualify for the Owen Hart Cup tournament, both men and women. And the big thing tonight coming out of Dynamite was a huge announcement. As we all know, Tony Kahn likes to blow his load on huge announcements, but a huge announcement was made tonight by really Adam Cole. But Tony Kahn was out there along with the president of New Japan Pro Wrestling. Rumors have been running rampant as of late on what that huge announcement could be. Could it be a possible HBO Max partnership? Could it be a TV deal for Ring of Honor? Obviously, Tony Khan has now bought it, so he's trying to get a TV deal and possibly going, or an AEW and New Japan Pro Wrestling Super Show. And man, we got the Super Show. This is going to be great. I feel it's going to be great. It's in Chicago. Chicago is so goddamn spoiled. I feel like everybody in Chicago just gets these big shows, but it's a great thing for professional wrestling, I feel. I'm very proud that this is happening. AEW is only 3 years old and this is happening, man. I don't know what the heck is happening, but it's great to be a pro wrestling fan.
Hell yeah, I'm excited for it. The Super Show about to be lit. We also got the announcement during that Adam Cole and Ishii are facing off next week in that Owen Hart tournament, which I'm excited for. Big Ishii guy, so I hope to see some physicality in that match. But yeah, we got that announcement too.
For sure, man. I can't wait for that either. It should be an okay episode of AEW Rampage. As we all know, AEW Rampage at 10 o'clock. Not a lot of people watch it after SmackDown, but I'm gonna definitely be tuning in for that Ishii and Adam Cole match. That's gonna be a great thing to see for the Owen Hart Cup tournament. So one of them is going to be moving on into that tournament. And guys, this is going to be a great review. I got somebody new here to bounce ideas off with. This is going to be cool, and we will get right into the show tonight. But guys, follow us on social media. All the TikTok links are down in the description below, including Lewis's. So if you want to follow him on TikTok, you click that link that is down in the description below. And you guys can go follow him. He does some great stuff over there on his page. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at PhillyMatt_, same as my TikTok. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for all notifications. That way you never miss when we go live. Make sure that you guys go check out the channel for anything that you may have missed on Monday Night Raw. And we didn't do a Tuesday's talk last night because I was just very tired and I had a long day at work. But our Monday Night Raw review is up there for you guys to enjoy if you may have missed that. Hit that thumbs up button, guys. 10 likes minimum on the stream tonight for our AEW Dynamite post-show review on Outside the Brand. Every like helps the channel get the video to other recommended pages so that we can grow the Outside the Brand community. Make sure you guys go support us on bonfire.com, the exclusive home of Outside the Brand and its merchandise. You guys can go get your t-shirts, hoodies, and much more on bonfire.com. We also got some great stuff on TikTok, like I said, so go click those links, subscribe, or join the communities over there. It's It's a great community over there on Wrestle Talk. Let's get the community growing. Thank you guys so much for the support. And let's get right in to the show. Woo! We kick things off tonight with CM Punk taking on Dustin Rhodes, the natural Dustin Rhodes. You know, CM Punk, ever since he started here in AEW, the one thing that I've always noticed about him is storytelling.
Right.
The guy's a great storyteller in the ring. He knows, first of all, he's very professional when he gets in that ring, and he knows what to do in order to get the job done, no matter who he's in there with.
Right.
Dustin Rhodes, a veteran in his business. We all know the lineage of Dustin. Great competitor in his own right.
Right.
When you first saw that this match is going to be announced for CM Punk, what were your initial thoughts? I mean, Dustin's a legend, but in his own right, this was a showcase for both men here tonight.
I mean, I thought it was interesting. You know, I wasn't hype about it at first, but you know, this Pittsburgh crowd really got me hyped for the match. But you know, when it was announced, I thought, you know, the styles were a lot different. I think CM Punk has faced, you know, since he's been in AEW, you know, most of his matches have been with guys with the same style, like that high risk, high flying, high impact style, you know, aside from like MJF and Wardlow he's faced. So I thought stylistically, this matchup would be a lot more technical, a lot more different. And I mean, I was entertained. You know, I was cool with the match. The match was dope. I liked the match. I liked the storytelling they did, you know, with Punk eventually slowly turning heel, going after the bad knee, because, you know, that's a heel tactic to do, going after the weak part. He kept doing that repeatedly during the match. When we were on picture-in-picture, he did the gold dust taunt, trying to taunt on Dustin. So, you know, we got a lot of heel Punk action going on. I kind of sensed a little bit of heel Punk because he wore pink. And I know in WWE, when he wore pink, he was a savage. So when he came out with that pink, I saw a little bit of heel Punk. But overall, the match delivered. It was a lot better than I expected. And Dustin is probably one of the most underappreciated people in the business today, man. He's so great.
For sure, man, for sure. We'll go over what happened during the match after the picture-in-picture break. Punk sweeps Rose's leg on the apron. Rose then kicks Punk into the ring post and then drops Punk on the apron. Both men trade shots back and forth. Rose then with a back body drop. Rose then with 10 strikes in the corner. But when Rhodes got down, he favored his knee as he jumped down from the turnbuckle.
Right.
Punk then misses a running knee strike. Rose then with a code red cover for a 2 count. Every single time I see Dustin do a code red,
it's
not
crazy.
Only does it amazes me that it's just
it's crazy. He does it so smooth for a guy. What was he? He was like they say he was like 250. You know, a guy that's 250 pounds doing a code red, especially to a guy like CM Punk, who's a little bit lighter than him too. I think Dustin probably has about like maybe 30 pounds on him. So to do a code red, like, that's crazy. That's crazy. And to sell it like the knee, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's selling the knee the entire match. So it's kind of crazy to see Dustin do that shit, especially 52 years old. Shit.
Yeah. And, you know, shout out to you, Amazing Red. You made that thing famous, and, you know, you're just absolutely awesome. I love the Amazing Red, dude. I know you're obviously a big Amazing Red fan, and once I see a code red every time, I always just have to shout him out.
Hell yeah, always.
Punk goes for the G. Sorry about that. Punk goes for the GTS, but Rhodes escapes. Rose then with an uppercut power slam cover for a 2 count. Rose then goes for a crossroads, but Punk escapes and hits a chop block. Punk then locks in a figure 4. Rose's shoulders are down for a 2 count, but both men trade shots back and forth while still being inside the figure 4. Rose then turns over, reverses the pressure of the figure 4, and Punk gets to the ropes. Punk then goes for a springboard, but Rose then hits a right hand. Rose then hits a crossroads, and then hits a pile driver for a very, very close 2 count. They know how to make it very close
That
for
power driver
those
was
counts.
sick too. That was a sick
Yeah,
power driver he took. He kind of delayed him in the air too. That was a sick ass power driver.
for sure. Rose then with right hands, Punk then with a roundhouse kick, and then goes for the GTS. But because of the lower back or the knee or whatever Rhodes was pretty much targeting, Rhodes escaped, and Punk got it was like a schoolboy but roll up at the same time, and he got it for the win. CM Punk with the victory here. I think we all kind of had a feeling that Punk was going to win this thing. He needs wins heading into Hangman Adam Page for the AEW World Championship. As we all know, that's what he's going for.
For sure.
Punk looked good here. Dustin looked great. At the age that he is, it still amazes me that he is going on this final run, and he's going to make it count one way or another for both men. And after that, they show respect. And once Punk gets up on the ramp, we see the world champion, Hangman Adam Page, with the world title. Punk versus Hangman, it's going to happen at Double or Nothing. It's pretty much inevitable at this point. Are you okay with that? Because I know a lot of people in the community that really aren't.
I mean, I'm perfectly okay with it. Originally, a couple months ago, I had MJF versus Hangman at Double or Nothing, but I mean, I'm cool with Punk. You know, this is just gonna lead to the heel turn. You know, they're gonna have a banging ass match at Double or Nothing, and like I said, I'm gonna suspect Punk to hit Hangman with a low blow and take the title. That's another thing with Hangman too. You know, I feel like his world title reign has reached its peak. You know, I mean, he's did all he's could with the booking that he was given and the matches he was given. The matches that he's put on, have all been great. You know, he hasn't missed a championship match one bit.
I saw that video of yours, by the way, and that was great. That was a great video. For sure.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it, but
people need to understand that he has not really missed.
He hasn't really missed, and I just don't think, him beating Punk would push him any higher. After beating Punk, it's like what else is there? You know what I'm saying? So I feel like Punk has to win this. Punk needs to turn heel. Hangman reached his peak because you don't want to get it to the point where, you want to keep pushing Hangman and it gets stale. You know what I mean? If it gets stale, people are going to complain, and then people complain. It's all going to be bad. So take the belt when Hangman reaches his peak, which is now, and then throw it on Punk.
Now, speaking of MJF, we know MJF and CM Punk had that amazing rivalry back and forth. The man beat CM Punk twice in Chicago. Could we possibly be seeing an MJF CM Punk thing again where MJF takes the title off Punk because that was his hero from when that storyline actually took place? I mean, we all kind of saw how that story transpired.
Well, I mean, I guess it all depends, what happens at Double or Nothing. I think it all depends, does Punk turn heel? Does he beat Hangman as a face? Are we going to see that for the first time in AEW? You know what I mean? Because we haven't had a face beat a face for a title. So that would be something new for a change. But I think, would it be cool to see MJF versus CM Punk again? Absolutely, it would. But I don't know. I feel like MJF has to be a top babyface. I think that would, do wonders for him. If he beat Punk for the title, that would be great. But I really don't see if it's heel versus heel because they don't really, quite frankly, do that often.
No, I just have to bring that up. I mean, there's always that kind of possibility with MJF and CM Punk, and we all know the kind of booking style that Tony likes to go for. Whether you like it or whether you don't, it kind of just happens. But that always has to be explored. And if CM Punk were to ever lose that championship to MJF beating his former hero, right. I mean, that just, it kind of writes itself in the way for MJF and his storyline. But speaking of MJF, Wardwell, the man has been absolutely on fire as of late. He arrives to the arena. Mark Sterling appears with security and tells Wardwell that from now on, security will escort Wardwell to his broom closet. Well, excuse me, locker room.
Locker
Thought that was a
room.
great line. I thought that was a great line. And Wardwell must wear handcuffs. Sterling says that a message from MJF, eat pig, in quotes. Okay, Mike Sterling, he might rub people the wrong way, but whether you like him or whether you hate him, he was a good person for that kind of segment for sure.
Man, I'm ready for Wardwell to take over. I'm ready for the Wardwell takeover, man. I'm ready. I'm ready, man.
I'm gonna be so happy when that match finally happens at Double or Nothing. God dang it.
Also, you look at it from long-term storytelling. Wardlow beating Punk for the title.
I would not mind that either.
Punk beat Wardlow already off of some BS after Wardlow had him beat. Long-term storytelling. Wardlow finally beats Punk. There's a lot of possibilities.
Wardlow slid the Dynamite Diamond ring to CM Punk in that final match or whatever. I mean, there's some kind of thing you can go along with that, dude. I kind of see where you're going with that.
Fuck it, have a triple threat match for the titles too. Shit, you don't know, man.
Whatever happens, and it's gonna be great. Bryan Danielson's music hits, and it's time for a trios match between the Blackpool Combat Club versus Lee Moriarty, Dante Martin, and Brock Anderson. Now, this match is good. I like Wheeler Yuta. I've always loved Wheeler Yuta. I've been telling people Wheeler Yuta is somebody that you need to take notice of. The man won the Ring of Honor Pure Championship, and he's kind of been on a roll ever since. The last 3 to 4 weeks of this kid's career has been an absolute dream. And now he's teaming with Danielson and Moxley, along with William Regal on his side. I mean, this kid's set for life with the knowledge that they know.
I enjoyed this match. Let me explain why I enjoyed this match. It wasn't your typical, let's show these guys off and let's have them beat up jobbers. They didn't beat up jobbers. They didn't beat up nobodies. They beat up Brock Anderson. They beat up Dante Martin. They beat up Lee Moriarty. Not only that, but they didn't make them look like jobbers how AEW normally or any wrestling company normally has them do. They actually had them fight back. And they actually had a lot of momentum going into this during the match. So they were giving it to them. And that's what I like about the development with the Blackpool Combat Club, because like I said, they're not just beating people down and making everybody look like jobbers. Like, they want people to fight back. And what AEW is doing is they're booking them against people that are going to fight back, that are going to give them a fight. And that's what Blackpool Combat Club is about. They're going to fight. They want to fight. They want people that's going to fight them. So it wasn't your typical jobber thing. It was like a legit fight. These two teams went to war for the time that they were given, and it was an entertaining match.
For sure. We're doing this from after the picture-in-picture break. Moxley with an armbar to Anderson. Right hands, and Anderson hits a double-A spine buster, just like his daddy. The double-A spine buster. Danielson tags in. Moriarty then tags in. And Moriarty, with a high boot, drops Yuta, a flying crossbody to Danielson. Moriarty then hits a flying knee, and Danielson hits some hard strikes to Moriarty. Then Moriarty with a running back elbow into a back suplex cover for a 2 count. Moriarty with a Border City stretch, and Danielson gets a suplex. Martin then tags in and hits a missile drop kick. I have to say, first of all, Martin, the kid impresses me. I'm sorry. The kid impresses me. He's absolutely awesome in that ring. And honestly, everybody here does. I like Brock Anderson. I like not Lee Johnson, my bad. You're my boy Lee Johnson, by the way. Lee Moriarty, and everybody that's involved here was just absolutely great. We had Martin hitting that springboard splash to the outside on Moxley. Moxley then catches Martin into a choke. Moriarty then tries to break it up, but Moxley does not let go. All 3 Blackpool Combat members do hammer blows to the opponents. Now, this was absolutely a fantastic spot. You got Danielson stomping heads in. You got Yuta doing the shoulder trap elbows, and then you just got Moxley just going ham on him. This was an absolutely awesome spot to see.
This is another reason why AEW needs to desperately bring in those trios titles. You know what I'm saying? Like, just imagine the wars. Like, we can have Blackpool Combat Club against fucking the Dark Order. That match would be entertaining. We have BCC versus the Elite, the Undisputed Elite, freaking Red Dragon and Adam Cole, Kenny and the Bucks. Like, you can throw the fucking Factory in there if you really want to. So
you got the House of Black.
You got the House of Black. There's so many possibilities, but Tony, we gonna need those AEW trios titles. It's time. We have too many factions. It's a perfect time to bring it in.
Plus, it gives these trios matches
a lot more meaning.
Importance. Like you get them more meaning.
Because you have the Gun Club, who was literally undefeated up until last week.
Yeah.
But since it's trios competition, it doesn't really do anything for them because it's not like they're in the tag division. Because it's a trios match, so it's not like they're in the tag division. They don't deserve tag title shots. They don't deserve TNT or AEW title shots. This is why we need to bring in these trios titles. Because a team like the Gun Club, they should have, like, if we had trios titles, they should have already been trios champions. Right. What are they? They have what, over 25 matches as a trios team?
They were 24-0 up until last week, where they lost to the PCC.
That is crazy. We need them titles. But I know Tony Kahn, he also mentioned that he's going to look into that when Kenny comes back. But I don't think we're going to see Kenny until later this year or next year. He's hurt too bad, so I don't know if he can wait that long.
Listen, I want Kenny as much as everybody else does in the wrestling community, but let this man heal. Let this man figure out the way that he needs to heal, because the man, whether anybody liked that whole carrying pretty much the belt collector kind of thing, he was carrying a ton of promotions throughout that entire time, especially AEW. And, even though when he was doing that thing with the whole Impact Championship, even though he didn't really do anything with that Impact Championship, he was still carrying a lot of brands. He was carrying a lot of weight. The man needs to heal. And that's first and foremost. So let him heal. He'll get back whenever he can. And that's all that matters. But Tony, I agree with Liz. You have to get those trios titles at some point, because these trios matches are great, but if they don't have meaning with the trios championships in line, they're great, but that's all they could be, is great. And then once they actually have happen with the titles, it could be even better. So we got that going on, and the Blackpool Combat Club do pick up the win here after Moxley hits a paradigm shift to Martin for the win. And as we head to the back, we see the Undisputed Elite. O'Reilly asks what happened to the Bucks. Where are all of their expensive gear? O'Reilly then says that he will beat Jungle Boy tonight. Cole then says, as a team, they cannot be stopped. Next week, we're going to have an Undisputed Elite Open Challenge 10-man tag. The Bucks put the Elite in Undisputed Elite. Think about it. This is, well, first of all, I don't know what the heck that line was about, but the 10-man tag should be okay. We did figure out that I believe it's like, I can't remember the opponents. You probably remember them, but this could, I don't know about this. What did you think about all of this?
I don't like the idea of 10-man tag match. For what? What does it improve? I mean, I guess faction dominance, but like, 10-man tag matches don't do shit. Like, who are they gonna face? The Dark Order? Is that what they for the 1,000th time? Like, I don't like the 10-man tag matches. I don't even like the 8-man tag matches. Like, the farthest
they're clusterfucks at times, especially in
AEW. But I don't like the idea. Like, I genuinely don't. I think it's stupid.
Yeah. Here, let me see. 10 man tag. I know they announced the opponents, but yeah, it doesn't look like anybody has a picture yet. Oh yeah, no, they haven't announced it yet or seeing the picture of it yet. But I'm kind of in the agreements of Lou right here. 10-man tags. This is either just for one of two things: the dominance of the Undisputed Elite to show what they can really do, or, and you can see this coming, Red Dragon, Young Bucks having some issues with each other during the match. Now, do I expect these guys to lose to whoever they face? I really don't expect it at all, honestly. But I can totally see the writing on the wall if they are going to have some kind of dissension with each other between Red Dragon and the Young Bucks. It happens, and it will happen until Kenny comes back, and then we're going to finally get that story heading into the summer, possibly. But I don't know, man. The 10-man tag, I like it, but it could be a clusterfuck, so we'll see what happens. It's something to look out for sure. We then had a video package for Samoa Joe versus Lethal, Dutt, and Singh. So we had all of that stuff happen. I came on here last week, pretty much just disregarding the entire thing of Singh and everything like that. But I'm not gonna write him off just yet because we have not even seen a lick of him. But I just didn't know what the heck they were doing. I felt like at Battle of the Belts, it kind of presented him a little bit better, but I really can't tell right now for this Singh and Dutt, Lethal, and Joe story. But we'll figure that out as we go along.
I think the promo package they presented Satnam Singh a lot better.
Yeah,
I think so. The promo package they did, he looks a lot scarier. I'll say he looks way scarier.
So Tony Schiavone is on the stage, and he's introducing Tony Kahn. This is time for the announcement. Kahn then says that he has a huge announcement as he introduces the president of New Japan Pro Wrestling. Adam Cole then interrupts. He's on the he's on the Videotrons up there, and says that, listen, the only person that should be making this announcement is the biggest star who has ever wrestled in New Japan, me, or Adam. And he said that on June 26th, AEW and New Japan Pro Wrestling presents Forbidden Door, a cross-promotional event that is going to be live on pay-per-view. He will face Ishii on Rampage in the Owen Hart Cup tournament qualifier as he has a special friend to come out there to say hello. In comes Jay White. Jay White. And, he comes out there, makes his entrance. He gets on the mic and says, listen, this is not about AEW. This is not about New Japan. This is about me, who sold out Madison Square Garden and the rest of the Elite. It's about the Undisputed Elite and Bullet Club. It's still our era. And that was it. This is going to be great. I like how they have Jay White back. Jay White's been in the States for a little while now because I maybe the travel restrictions is why he's still here in the States. But regardless, if you're going to have him here in the States, you could use him here.
For sure.
With this in mind, New Japan and AEW, it's just going to be a great thing, man. I really don't know how this could honestly be taken into a negative stance, but there's going to be people that see it. But what happens here? What happens here from now on? Because it's June 26th. That's the pay-per-view day.
Well, I don't know what happens here. I mean, well, we also got to consider some sort of fact that some New Japan stars that we desperately want to see probably won't be there because probably travel issues. So I'm not going to expect an Okada, even though that would be nice, But, I do expect Mox versus Tanahashi.
Okay.
I've been expecting that. Also, I've been wanting Ospreay and Kenny for a while, but I know that's not going to happen. So I would love to see Ospreay and Danielson. Love to see that.
That'll be cool.
And then, fuck it, you can give us Jay White versus Adam Cole in there too. But I could also see maybe a 5-on-5 Survivor Series kind of thing, between New Japan and AEW's Best, So I mean, we'll see. But I'm very intrigued. I'm very excited. I'm gonna keep an open mind, man. So far, it's great.
Now, this sucks for me to even say this, and I know of New Japan for a little while now, but I keep hearing that this show could possibly be just a lot of tag team matches. Is AEW and not AEW? Is New Japan kind of made for tag team matches or what have you? Because I'm kind of, I know the product, but I don't get to watch it all that often.
New Japan does tag team matches frequently. I'll say they do them frequently. I mean, but they never miss.
Do they do singles matches? I mean, do they do singles matches all that often?
Of course, yeah. All the time.
Because I keep hearing
they
from
do a lot
people.
of tag matches, I'll say, but yes, they do singles matches as well.
Okay, because I keep hearing from other people, not just in the community, but on social media, that this could be just an entire tag team kind of heavy card. And even though I like tag team wrestling, you gotta throw some singles matches in here sometime. I mean, come on now.
Yeah, I mean, that's where I expect Mox versus Tanahashi to come into play. Mox has been wanting Tanahashi for a while. Tanahashi's been wanting Mox for a while too. So that's one match I know for sure. That's got to happen there. For sure that I know that's gonna happen there. I mean, I would love to see Okada there, but I don't think we're gonna get Okada. If we do, I'll shut the fuck up.
But regardless, guys, this is going to be a great thing for AEW, and I think it's going to be a great thing for New Japan too. You get some new people over there onto that side of things, and you just see this type of just atmosphere continuing to grow for professional wrestling. You get some New Japan exposure, you get some AEW exposure for the people over there in Japan. I think it's going to be a great thing for both sides, but that's June 26th, so we're going to have to wait a little bit just for that. But trust me, it's going to be worth the wait. Jade Cargill. Then Jade Cargill, Red Velvet, and Kiera Hogan are just backstage. Jade will defend the TBS Championship on Rampage against Marina Shafir. And Jade says, quote, "See you on Friday, bitch." I don't understand the pairing of Red Velvet and Kiera Hogan. I understand they're the new baddies, but I just don't understand the pairing. I mean, where did this all come from? I don't even understand how it even all came about. Jade Cargill is with Mark Sterling. She's defending that title against Marina Shafir. She had her AEW Dynamite debut last week. And I'm gonna be frank with you, dude, and you can take this however you want. It was just not good. It was not good to me. I did not like the presentation of Marina Shafir, right. And it was kind of just sloppy. But at the end of the day, we're getting this match, Cargill and Shafir. What are your thoughts on all of this heading into Friday, man? I mean, it wasn't all that good for Shafir, but hopefully we can see an okay match between these two on Friday. Is Jade ready enough to kind of carry a match with Marina? Or not carry, but just kind of hold their own.
No, I don't even like the way they built up Marina Shafir. I mean, I don't even know why she's fighting for the TBS title so early. If there's a way to build her up, man, build her up right. I mean, she was She was in the WWE Performance Center. I mean, her husband is literally Roderick Strong, one of the best professional wrestlers in the world, for fuck's sake.
Right.
And she could barely even get a match on NXT. So, I mean,
I never saw her on NXT.
I don't think this is the one. What is it? 3 matches or whatever? How many matches does she have?
I'm gonna look up her record right now because I don't think it's a lot. And
I don't think that's how you build somebody up, though. The way how they built Jade up for the TBS title, that's how you build somebody up. But the way I would have built up Marina Shafir is have her keep dominating some of the time.
Marina's 4-0 in 2022. She's 4-0 overall, 4-1, and she's apparently ranked number 5 in the rankings. I don't know.
I would have had her destroy some of the top mid-card women in the division. Like, I would have put her against Anna Jay. I would have put her against Ty Conti. And come double or nothing, you know what I'm saying? Like, when you need a challenger for Jade Cargill, you know, it's like, oh, shit, Marina Shafir, she's beating all these people. Put her up against fucking Marina Shafir. But it's like, Marina Shafir is new. You know, I don't think she's ready for this kind of spotlight. Jade, she's better, you know, in the ring than she was, you know, when she faced Ruby Soho. You know, she's grown, but she's still not, you know, ready to carry a match.
No.
So I think this is a bad idea all around. I hope Jade Cargill kind of wins kind of fast because I don't want to see this match.
She has to win fast at this point, dude. She has to get that 30-0, and if I don't want this to happen because it's not WWE written all over it, but the only way that I can honestly kind of accept Jade losing her first match is if Mark Sterling just fucks up somehow. Like, if Mark Sterling is the catalyst to fuck Jade up, that's the only way I'd honestly have her lose. But she can't lose to Marina Shafir. She can't.
Definitely can't.
There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But we'll see what happens. It happens on Friday, and TBS title will be on the line at 10 o'clock Eastern on TNT. I love how they do TBS on TNT on TBS and that whole shit. But we'll get to that whole TNT championship because I have some fucking words to say. But we'll get there.
Yeah.
Wardwell takes on the Butcher. Next, as the Butcher makes his entrance, MJF appears from the press box as above everybody else in the arena.
Hell yeah.
Says that he does not care if they boo him. He's seen who they cheer, and Wardwell is a nobody, just like all of you. Since Wardwell is a nobody, he will come out to no music. Wardwell then makes his entrance, handcuffed, surrounded by security guards, to no music. But everybody is legitimately chanting Wardwell at the top of their lungs. I loved Pittsburgh tonight. They were on fire for the majority of the show. So Wardwell is absolutely awesome. He got Wardwell chance down to the ring as he had this match against the Butcher.
Right.
And honestly, this didn't last long. This didn't last long. We had Wardwell throwing Butcher into the ring post. Butcher then drives Wardwell's spine into the apron, then hits a backdrop on the apron. Back inside the ring, as Butcher then hits a clothesline and hits an ugly-looking power bomb for a 1 count. The thing is, it wasn't really all that ugly. It's just when he was getting him up, I don't know what happened. His leg kind of collapsed and he kind of just fell over. Wardwell landed fine, but it was kind of, I don't know if it was kind of just weight distribution or what have you, but it was kind of just a little bit of a miscue, and it was a 1 count. It was going to be a 1 count regardless, even if he hit it perfectly, because that's just the spot. But a little bit of a miscue. It wasn't all that bad. It's just weight distribution problem, probably. But Wardlow then hits his own power bomb, and here comes the power bomb symphony. It's another one It's a third, then a fourth, and then a 1, 2, 3. Wardwell, you know what? Wardwell and the whole Powerbomb Symphony is just gold. We all love it. I think everybody and their mother loves it. Thank you, Chris Jericho, for coming up with that shit, because you honestly made that kind of shit over for him, and you helped him out with something that is signature for him. So good on you, Chris. But Wardwell is the one that's making it a star kind of attraction.
Hell yeah.
Oh my God, Wardwell is one of my favorite things in all of AEW right now, bro. And it's not even funny. It's not even close.
He's my favorite right now, man. He made Christian go number 2. Shit, I love
really?
Yeah, man. Wardlow, he's my favorite thing to watch right now, man. Christian's angering me too, man. We'll get to that later. I'll touch up on that.
Yeah, we gotta talk about that Christian thing too, because I felt like it all had the lines of something, but we'll talk to that when we get there.
He's pissing me off.
So, NJF security then appears to handcuff him once again, and security escorts Wardwell to the back. We come back from commercial break as Eddie Kingston is backstage. He says on Rampage, he and Garcia and nobody else will be there or be allowed in the building. Everything he does to Garcia, he will do to Chris Jericho. He will have fun, and when all is said and done, Garcia's family won't recognize him. I love Kingston. I think Kingston is one of the best talkers here in all of AEW, especially because he's just so passionate and he's just so real when he gets on that mic or just in backstage promos.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I'm just kind of sick and tired of this whole thing already, though. Once this match happens between like the trios or possibly a blood and guts thing between the JAS and Kingston's group, let's end this, please. We've seen this for far too long for me.
Yeah, man, I think it got to end at some point. I was never really feeling. I mean, it was cool at first with the Jericho Appreciation Society and shit, but I mean, I'm kind of over it. I mean,
I like Jericho Appreciation Society. It's just this feud has been going on for far too long with Kingston and Jericho.
I didn't mean the society. I meant the feud. I'm kind of over it too.
Oh, okay.
It would have made sense if Jericho beat Kingston and then Kingston wanted revenge and then, you know.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just hope that once this thing happens, and if it is even a blood and guts, we know that Tony wants to bring blood and guts back, but that's even if this that match is for this, and even if it is, you got to end it at that point. I don't really think you can end it there.
Trios titles, man. If we had trios titles in here, it would have made everything a lot better.
Again, true. But we'll see when that happens for sure. And then we had the Owen Hart Cup Tournament men's qualifier, Jungle Boy versus Kyle O'Reilly. And this match is good. I love Jungle Boy. I love Kyle O'Reilly. This shocked the hell out of me with the winner. I'm not going to lie. But I'm not complaining. I love Kyle O'Reilly. I think Kyle O'Reilly's awesome in that run. And we had some great matches. We had a great match here, for sure.
Kyle O'Reilly's physical as hell, technical as they come. Jungle Boy, even though I think he's boring as shit in terms of character and stuff, he always puts on bangers. So this match was dope. I like this match.
For sure. We go to the final portions of this match as Jungle Boy hit a hammering blow in the corner. Jungle Boy then with stomps, a running drop kick in the corner. Jungle Boy then misses a running forearm, and O'Reilly hits some strikes. Jungle Boy then with a super kick, roll up for a 2 count. O'Reilly then gets an ankle lock. Jungle Boy reverses it into a snare trap. O'Reilly then crawls to the ropes. O'Reilly then hits a superplex. Mm-hmm. Jungle Boy then catches O'Reilly in a cover for a 2 count. O'Reilly then with the brain buster, then goes to the top, a diving knee drop for the win. O'Reilly picks up the victory here. And even though it kind of shocked me with the way they've kind of, been pushing the whole Jurassic Express as of late and Jungle Boy, I'm not mad at this. I'm not mad at Kyle O'Reilly being a part of this. So we'll see what happens here in the Owen Hart Cup tournament. I'm loving the field so far. I just want to know how many people there are in the tournament, though. Like, you gotta at least announce that.
Yeah, I would like to see some sort of bracket, but Kyle O'Reilly and Samoa Joe, I'm digging. Really?
And that is confirmed for the first match.
Yep, it is confirmed. And I'm ready for it. It's gonna be crazy.
That's gonna be good. For sure.
Christian's pissing me off. He's pissing me off.
Speaking of Christian, he walks down the ramp. Jungle Boy meets him. He mouths, "I'm sorry." Christian then hugs him and walks to the back. This had all the makings of a Christian heel turn, dude. And I know you don't want it, but that had all the makings of a Christian heel turn.
The problem is, I do want it. The problem is that it should have happened right there.
It had all the makings. And you know what that would have reminded me of?
I'm just ready for Christian to cost him the tag titles, man. I want it. The world is not ready for him.
There you go.
I'm ready.
You know what that would have reminded me of, though, when they were walking to the back? All Christian had to do was grab him by the throat and shove him down Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens.
At our Evolution, yeah.
That would have just been, I mean, you don't have to do it exactly like that, but you just whip his hair down, something of that nature. You call back to that spot.
I need Christian to turn heel. It's time, man. Man, fuck Jurassic Express. Christian can't carry them on the mic forever, man.
Christian, I understand it's kind of a different scenario with Christian not having all that many matches with the whole Jurassic Express thing, but Christian is so underutilized. The guy can still go.
He went from beating Omega to managing Jurassic Express. That's a hell of a demotion.
And Marco Stunt's now out of a job.
Man,
I don't think that was really Christian's fault, but
Marco Stunt was fun. He was fun. I don't know why they took him away. I mean, he was fun, but it's Tony Kahn, man. I hate him so much.
I don't think that was really Christian's fault about that whole Marco Stunt thing, but it just happened. MJF says Butcher didn't get the job done, but there is one more person that has come to mind. And much like a snake, when he decides who is his prey, all it takes is one bite. MJF then gives an envelope full of money, to Jake the Snake Roberts. It's cool seeing Jake back. We haven't really seen him all that much as of late, whether that be health issues or just taking some time away. It's great seeing Roberts back. Roberts says that he chases money, and when the time is right, he will settle this. Lance Archer then appears and says, "Listen, I don't care about the goddamn money. Everybody dies." And he's going to be facing Wardlow next week. That's gonna be a good match, dude. I can't wait. I love Lance Archer. I love Wardwell.
You know what this
monster, bro.
This reminds me of the Jericho and MJF feud where what was it? The five Jericho.
The five labors of Jericho. Yeah, the five labors.
Jericho. I feel like it's something similar with Wardlow coming up with that.
I mean, that could be something interesting for sure. I mean, he has to go through all these challenges just to get to MJF at the pay-per-view. I mean, it's not all that bad. It might be a rehash kind of thing, but hell, if it works, it works.
Let's talk about the pop Wardlow got with no music.
Especially for that, yeah.
That was crazy.
Yeah. Listen, if you're going to rehash that kind of a thing, Wardlow's especially the type of guy to do it. I mean, he's already over as fuck. You have him do these challenges. You have him go through these labors, so to speak, just to get to MJF. The man's already super over. Imagine what the pop is going to be at the pay-per-view, bro. Once they finally get his hands on MJF, It's gonna be magic, bro.
It's gonna be wild. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it. I love me some some Wardwell, man.
Then we had the Dynamite debut, a book. And I'm a big Hook guy.
I know you are. You're a big Hook guy.
I'm a big Hook guy. I think he's a future part of this company for sure. Everybody wants a championship on this kid already. I'm not that big of a fan of him to just give him a championship right off the bat. Let the kid grow first before we get any kind of championship on the kid. His wrestling style is a spitting image of his father and Taz. I wish Taz was out there for commentary tonight. They didn't even have him out there for commentary. If you're going to have his son out there, get him out there. But, this was an easy win for Hook here against Anthony Henry. Hook picked an ankle. Henry then gets to the ropes. Hook then with strikes in the corner, takedown, overhead throw. Hook then with a lariat and lariat to the back of the head and crossface strikes. Danhausen then appears and tries to curse Hook, but Hook continues with the crossfaces and locks in the red rum, and Henry immediately taps out. Hook with the victory here. After the match, Danhausen appears and says, "Listen, I'm done fucking cursing you. We're having a match." I don't like it.
The pop is there. I'm there for the comedy stuff. Danhausen can actually wrestle if you look back at his time.
I've definitely seen Danhausen for sure. I know him. I know his wrestling style, and he's great.
Supposed to have the entertaining part on the card. Whether they do it next week or in 2 weeks or a double or nothing, I think this match is just going to be goofy and entertaining. I think Hook, what amazes me.
Yeah, but who wins? Who wins?
Without saying a single word, he's like still playing his part with Danhausen, like throwing the bag of chips at him, like your verses ain't shit, or just walking away from him when he's getting interviewed. And then
I saw a video of him just throwing a medicine ball back at him instead, and he was just going to the corner.
He's playing his part really well without saying a word. He hasn't said one word yet.
We don't even know what his promo skills are even like yet. And I mean, once that happens, if that happens, we'll definitely be able to see. I honestly don't think, though, that Hook really needs a mic. If you're going to have somebody talk, have his father talk for him. Let him do everything in the ring.
Yeah, no, Hook is fine, but shout out to C-Dub for this one. But what if we got a comedy tag team of Danhausen and Hook? That would be cool. I
mean, hell, respect is a thing, and if it happens, it happens. That would be kind of insane to even think about.
They're doing their thing on TV right now.
The only thing that I have an issue with this, I think it's going to be a good match when it happens. I just don't know who the fuck wins, because you can have Hook lose, and you can have Danhausen lose his first match.
I think you can have Danhausen lose. He's a comedy character. It's not like he's going to be built up for a title. I think you can.
I mean, if you're looking at it that way, yeah. I know that Danhausen's a kind of comedy character like guy, but you gotta at least kind of present him in some kind of like fashion.
I just hope during the match, like Danhausen just like tries to curse him any kind of way. Like he could be like Hook could beat his ass so bad, and Danhausen could be on the floor like, you know
right,
what I mean?
Yeah, just doing the thing.
Like all hurt, and then Hook is just looking at him like, what the fuck?
What the fuck are you doing?
I tell you, it could be very funny. It's gonna be a funny match. I'm telling y'all, man, it's gonna be funny as shit.
I'm not. It's gonna be good. I just. Usually when stuff like that happens between a guy that you really just can't have lose yet and somebody that's having a first match, normally people would just say, listen, if you can't decide on who should win this match, don't book it.
Right.
So it's kind of the factor that I was going with, but with the comedy kind of thing going on with Danhausen, I don't think it would be that bad to have him lose, but kind of, I don't know. It's kind of just a flip flop thing with me. But if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
So he gets on. So like I said, Danhausen got on the mic and said, "Enough of this. Enough with the cursing and all that kind of stuff. We're just gonna have a fight." And Hook just badass walks away.
Shoulder
He's
bump.
like, "Yeah, fuck you." He's like, "Yeah, sure, whatever, dude."
He shoulder bumped him. Walked into him. Went.
Yep. I'm sorry. You're in my way, so get the fuck out. Tony Schiavone is with Scorpio Sky and Kazarian. Kazarian was going to have an interview, but Scorpio Sky interrupts, and as Kazarian was about to address Sammy Guevara, Sky says that, listen, we've had each other's backs for a very long time. All right, but none would be possible. None of all of this would have been possible for me if it wasn't for somebody like you. A long time ago, he called Kaz and he answered, and just he gave him a chance. They formed SCU together, and the rest was history.
Yeah, most of the AEW viewers don't realize during that segment, they most of the casual viewers, they didn't start watching until like around last year, right? Like AEW is a lot bigger, so most people don't realize, but those two are the inaugural tag champs within the company. A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah,
a lot of people don't know that. The casual viewer doesn't know who's the inaugural tag champs, but that's
SCU. It's SCU, man.
Yeah. It was when I saw Scorpio and Kaz face to face, I was like, "You getting a reunion?" I was getting excited, but nah, you're not getting a reunion.
So is Kazarian, Scorpio Sky, and I'm forgetting one. That's Christopher Daniels, right?
Correct.
That's all three of them. Okay, yeah. And well, the whole could we possibly see a Christopher Daniels thing kind of in here too, or is that eye just too fucked up? Because I saw that eye.
He's just not doing shows for AEW. He's still under contract with them. I mean, remember the last time we saw him, he got his ass kicked by Bryan Danielson.
Yeah.
But he's still doing shows. He's the Defy World Champion. He's actually booked for a show coming up. So I just think Daniels just wants to do work elsewhere right now. I don't blame him. AEW's too crowded as it is right now. So get what you can.
Yeah, just get the bookings that you can, make the money that you can, or just continue being a professional wrestler elsewhere. That's not a problem with me at all. But he says, listen, Kaz, I know you want that TNT championship, but let me go out there, let me call out Sammy, and once I win this championship back, you're the first one that gets the first shot. They shake hands. And we go for that whole segment, but before that, we had a video package for Thunder Rosa. Now, I'm just going to be talking about that Thunder Rosa thing for just a little bit before we get into the whole Sammy and Tay thing. Thunder Rosa defended the title on Saturday against Nyla Rose, and Nyla, she is very commendable for all the stuff that she has done here in AEW so far. She was a former champion and everything in between. She is a very serviceable woman on this roster, because I feel like pretty much anybody that has been a women's champion in here, almost the first feud is Nyla Rose. It's Nyla Rose.
Cheetah, you look at Britt Baker. Yeah, she has been the first.
It's kind of a thing. Was the match all that? It wasn't a bad match by any means on Saturday, but it wasn't all the best. I think Thunder could be used in such bigger roles when it comes to her first AEW Women's World Championship reign.
Right.
I thank God that this was just for Battle of the Belts and not for Double or Nothing, because like I said, I think Thunder deserves a little bit better. But once you saw that match on Saturday, if you watched Battle of the Belts, I should say, did you you kind of just think I'm happy that it's kind of over and we can just move on for Thunder Rosa, or what have you?
I'm with everybody on this, man. I don't have a problem with Nyla Rose, honestly. I
Me
don't.
neither.
I appreciate what she's done, in terms of being the first active transgender. In terms of her being the first transgender champion. So I commend her. But I'm with everybody. I don't have a problem with her. She doesn't need to be the first feud. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like that kind of also devalues Nyla Rose too, in a way. So, that's kind of a lose-lose situation because, like you said, she is a former women's champion. And a former women's champion should not be a gatekeeper for other women's champions to get their foot into their title reign. You know what I mean? So, who could have Thunder Rosa faced? I don't know. You could have thrown anybody. Hell, you could have thrown Ty Conti in there for all I cared, but somebody different. I need somebody. I would love to see Tony Storm, when she's built up. I think that would be nice. Britt Baker.
I'd love to see a Ruby Riott thing. She's 22 and goddamn 4 in AEW in 2022, but all of them have pretty much been on Dark. It's ridiculous, but
I would love to see a ladder match sometime. I think Thunder Rosa, she's capable of having a ladder match within her reign.
Yes.
I think that's something we also need to see more of, not just in the women's, just in general in AEW. We need a lot more ladder matches too. Like not just for the fucking poker chip or the Sonic Gold Ring. We need to see more ladder championship matches. I think Thunder Rosa would be nice to have a ladder match. Like Ruby Soho would be cool.
Yeah.
So,
well, we'll get a ladder match, and it's going to be for the TNT title next week. I don't know if you kind of caught that or not, but we do have a ladder match booked in next week for the TNT title.
That match going to be there's going to be another ladder match?
Next week is the TNT title ladder match, yes. Scorpio Sky and Sammy Guevara. Sammy kind of threw it in there last second as the music was hitting, and then Shivani on commentary said it during the final portions before we got into the second Owen Hart Cup qualifier.
So now who wins that match? That's okay. That's interesting.
That match is going to be happening next week in Philadelphia.
Okay. I'm digging it. I like Sammy's reign, so I'm not complaining.
I don't know, man. 3 championship reigns in 8 months. You're flip flopping that shit.
But one thing I do commend Tony Kahn on is he did see where Sammy, in terms of the crowd, was going. He saw that the crowd was turning on Sammy and Tay, and they were favoring more of American Top Team, and did the double turn. I think if you want to keep this feud going, and you see that your babyface is being booed and that your heel is being cheered, a double turn, it was the right move. So I commend him on that. If he wanted to keep the feud going, which he did, double turn, that's the way you do it.
Sammy nailed it tonight, point blank. He nailed it tonight because he embraced the fans booing him out of the building, because that's what the fans are doing nowadays, and he acted like a true heel. He acted like that cocky bitch saying, hey, you know what, my girlfriend's hotter than yours, all this type of shit. And with the crowd booing him out of the building as continuing it as it is, it's just an awesome turnaround for now his new character, with him being a heel. And like you kind of said, it kind of unintentionally turned Dan Lambert and the rest of American Top Team baby faces. Yeah. But at the end of the day, the fans are going to tell you what they want to tell you. And the way they told everybody is like, hey, we just hate this whole Tay and Sammy Guevara shit on TV, with them just putting their relationship in front of us like this. If you're going to do it, make us boo them for the right reasons, not for the wrong ones.
And they're giving us a reason to boo them. Well, I'm not booing them, but
I like Sammy.
It was a very smart thing because, like I said, Tony Khan very well does want to keep the storyline going. So turning them, doing the double turn, it was a fucking right move, man.
So going into this segment now, Sammy Guevara and Tay Conti are in the ring. Huge boos are it's like they're booing him out of the building at this point. Sammy says that he loves this. He's on top of the world, TNT champion for a third time. Calls Tay Conti the love of his life. He loves Tay and everybody who cheers for him. But to those who to those who don't, he knows who we are. And as for the rest of you, my girlfriend is hotter than yours. You'll have one option, and that option is to, quote, be mad. And they said that together.
Love that.
Yeah, that's pretty much your new thing now, and that's the new catchphrase. So if it happens, and if it gets over for them, or it gets over to them and turn of them just getting booed like fucking crazy, it's working. So good for them. Scorpio Sky then appears with the rest of the American Top Team and Dan Lambert and Ethan Page, and says that this is the way that it's going to be now. Screw you. They're pretty much saying, at the end of the day, the fans are saying, screw you, Sammy. Page then gets on the mic and says, shut up. Nobody cares. Nobody came here to hear Sammy speak. The only reason why Men of the Year aren't putting stitches in their faces is because Lambert says that this is all about business and this is not the time.
Man,
Lambert.
I don't mean to cut you off right there, but
no. First of all, Ethan Page is great.
He can work a mic, dude. He could work a mic. He's just been
the intensity. The intensity.
He just so great, man. It's like when he was with the North with Josh Alexander, like he had the mic skills. Alexander had the wrestling skills. It's like you see the mic skills, man. It's crazy. You know? I didn't mean to cut you off.
No.
Page on the mic is golden, man.
I'm glad you cut me off because it should be praised. It should be. He's awesome.
He needs more mic time.
And I know Josh re-signed with Impact, but man, it would have been cool to see the North here. It would have been cool to see the North here. I'm sorry, but it would have been.
It was a sign of relief that he re-signed. Oh my God. I was getting so scared. Each and every single day that went by, I was getting so scared that there was, because when somebody gets released, there's always like that slight percent that AEW always has.
Yeah.
So when he re-signed multi-year, I was like, thank God, yo. It's too grand. AEW is just $2,000.
I love the North. It would have been cool, but honestly, it was the right move for Josh Alexander because Josh Alexander's killing it in Impact, and I couldn't be more proud of him.
But I do think he will eventually go to AEW.
Really?
I do. After this multi-year contract, and if AEW is still around, not saying they won't be, but never know. They're around for about 4 years. I do see Josh going. Absolutely.
I wouldn't mind it, but it's I'm letting Josh do his thing in Impact right now. He's absolutely killing it, and the guy's absolutely great regardless. So I trust him wherever he goes. Sammy and Tay are I misread that there. My bad. So Lambert says that the youth is wasted on the young. Sammy is the perfect example of that. Lambert calls Sammy a high school douchebag. You give Sky his rematch, or the two men will give you a pounding like your girlfriend dreams about. I fucking love Dan Lambert. That was fucking matchable. That was fucking line of the year right there, almost. You either give Sky his rematch, or I send these two men to give you the type of pounding your girlfriend dreams about. Dan Lambert's a fucking man. I see that face.
Man, you see Ty Conti's face. She wasn't screaming no. I saw her face. She was like,
no, really now. Oh, really?
Lambert is great too. He's great. But like I said, the double turn, it's like I remember a time where like he would get the most boos, and then now it's like he's God right now.
Here's the thing: Dan Lambert is pretty much saying he's pretty much us right now. He's voicing our disapproval of their relationship being thrown to us on TV. It fits perfect.
He has no chill.
Because he has no chill and no filter, so he's just gonna say whatever the fuck he wants to say. That's what happened when he was doing his thing with Cody and Brandy. He shut them up real quick, and
he called her a stripper and shit.
He shut them down real quick, and then now he's doing it to Sammy and Tay.
Hey, Dan Lambert's great. He's great for wrestling.
I was not all that big of a fan of him as soon as he first came onto the scene, but once I actually gave him a chance and those promo skills, well, he's obviously been a genius on the mic since he started, but he just grew on me, and now he's one of my favorites.
Bro, the fucking first time I had to deal with Dan Lambert, man, it was, I think it was like 5 or 6 years ago, like around 2016, fucking. This was when Impact was at its low, and fucking Dan Lambert stepped in the world of professional wrestling, and let me fucking tell you, dude, he was savage in Impact Wrestling. Like, he brought the entire American Top Team at the time. He brought out Colby Covington, Junior Dos Santos, like he brought out everybody. He was killing the entire Impact roster. He was getting booed by the India crowd. It was crazy.
That's insane. Sammy then goes on to say that he listens. I don't give a shit about Dan Lambert's dead grandpa, which you're gonna get fucking booed for that. So you just got booed for that out of crazy. Sammy then says that he will give them a rematch if Lambert then gives him the mixed tag match. Sammy says that next week it will be a ladder match, and that was when the music started playing, and he kind of just subtly threw that in there. It is a ladder match for the TNT title.
Well, I assume the mixed tag match would be Scorpio Sky and Paige Van Zandt.
Most likely, probably. Even the commentators didn't really seem too sure about that though, because he's like, well, it's either going to be Scorpio and Paige, or it could be Ethan and Paige. We'll find out. And so they don't even technically know. But I'm thinking it's going to be Scorpio. You kind of just, continue that thing for that feud. I don't know if that happens at the pay-per-view, though. I don't really feel like that's a pay-per-view match. If you're going to have a pay-per-view, you would have the TNT title on the line, right?
Yeah. We'll see what happens. I mean, maybe Kazarian gets involved. Who knows?
I wouldn't mind seeing a triple threat.
If
Kazarian had that kind of thing with Scorpio, it's like, hey, you told me I was going to get the first shot. You did not get the job done. I'm going after him now. Screw that.
Yeah, I love that idea too. That could be something. That could be an angle.
We'll see. We had a House of Black video package. I love these video packages, bro, but you'll leave a broom closet to go to a dark room or to go to outside in the pitch black dark. House of Black just needs to be used better, period. Pretty much all he says is next week the sun dies. So he's going to kill Fuego. Why is he in a feud with Fuego? Why?
I don't understand. Black is too talented. He's too talented. House of Black entirely is too talented. Like, if there's any faction that needs to hold all the gold, it has to be House of Black. Like,
either Blackpool Combat Club or House of Black are my first trio as champions. It's either one of those two for me. And
House of Black is so cool, man. And it's not like Malachi needs to have a match each and every single week, because he doesn't. I agree with some people where he needs to feel
like a special attraction.
Like, you need to tune into AEW Dynamite special event to see him wrestle, or if you want to see Malachi wrestle, you got to go buy this pay-per-view. I feel like he does need to be a special attraction, and I like the beat downs and the vignettes he's doing, but I would have preferred like how I put on my TikTok the Malachi Black hit list. Like I would prefer if he was just doing all this stuff of somebody of significance, like
Yeah.
somebody that matters. And Fuego's like what, like 10 and like 37 or some shit, yo. Like
Yeah. Fuego's not in the best shape.
where's Fuego too? Oh wait, never mind. He's gone too.
Oh yeah. No. Yeah. Fuego too. That was a great time for Cody. Yeah, guys, it was Cody. There you go. Spoiler alert. Fuego, for your information, when it comes to his record, 3-5 in 2022, and 10-54 in career.
So I had the wins right.
10-54.
I didn't have the matches lost right.
I'm sorry, but I understand what Fuego was about, and I understand how the whole contract for him came about and all that stuff. That was a cool story to tell. But if you're 10-54 in AEW, what are you doing here? I understand him to a point. I do, but I like Fuego, but I just don't understand it, bro. If you're gonna be this,
I get what are we
it's
doing?
a touchy subject with him. What are we doing?
What are we doing here? Like, House of Black, like, first of all, I don't think Malachi like picked up the steam where he had with Cody, because like I said, like that booking kind of messed up with him, because he destroys Cody the first match, and then the second match they face off, he spits the mist in his face, right? And then he rolls him up, beats him.
I saw that second match, yeah.
Yeah, and then they ended up having the third match, which was fucking phenomenal, crazy, chaotic storytelling. Loses it, and by default, Cody wins the feud because he ended it.
He was the last one to end it, yeah.
So I don't think Malachi ended up picking up steam after that. Now, it would have made sense if Malachi would have won the first match, then Cody won the second match, and then Malachi won the rematch and won that. That would have been fine, but he won 2 in a row. He loses the last match. He just hasn't been able to pick up steam ever since, or not pick up steam, but go back to where he was.
Right.
So,
and with the House of Black, you have guys like Brody King, who's phenomenal. I don't think a lot of people understand how great that guy is in the ring. And then you got a guy like Buddy Matthews, who I legitimately saw debut. It was that crazy.
you did.
Buddy Matthews, he's so freaking talented, and I've seen him in House of Glory. I've obviously seen him in WWE with Buddy Murphy, and just Murphy before that in NXT, and then promotions before that. The kid's talented, and if you're going to use him in this type of fashion, it's the trios titles, man. It's the trios titles, and you need to do him at some point, but he's a talented kid. You got to get him now, otherwise, what are you doing with him?
House of Black, I'm telling you, them trios titles need to happen. Like, who wouldn't want to see House of Black and BCC fucking tear each other apart, man? You know, that's great. That's a great match right there.
We had the Owen Hart Foundation Women's Tournament qualifier between Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, and Danielle Kamea.
Yeah, I know you like them Steelers players. I know you like seeing Najee in there.
Hey, I Fryermuth and Najee, they're some of the Steelers players that I respect. Even though I am a Ravens fan, I respect those guys because those guys have been following since college, so I'm okay with that. It was kind of cool seeing them, honestly. And, if you follow Najee on Instagram, he was actually live streaming on Instagram Live during the match and showing the match on IG Live. He's fantastic. But this was a tournament qualifier. Right. Whoever wins this gets inside the tournament. And Danielle Kamea, I've seen her a couple of times on Dark and Dark Elevation. She's not bad by any means. I don't think this was totally bad, but when you're going up against the Doctor, it's it's not academic, but you're just right there. You're seeing it in front of our eyes. Dr. Britt Baker advances to go into the tournament, and she hit the lockjaw for the win. Britt Baker is great. I think with her championship reign, it kind of started off as not really all that good of a reign, but then she turned it around into something fantastic. But now with her not with the championship, she got on the mic and said, listen, this women's division is nothing without me. So whether you have Toni Storm, whether you have Ruby Soho, who's the runaway because she legitimately had to run away from some company to just get here, or whether you got people like Jade Cargill and her baddies, nobody compares to me. So you're going to have to step up or just let the future Owen Hart tournament winner decide, and that is Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. She's great on the mic, I feel. I think she's gotten a lot better since her first year here in AEW. But with the Doctor and the tournament, right now, I can see some people thinking that she is the favorite, but there's a lot more people to get involved in this.
I don't think Britt Baker needs it. I would like to see her in the finals, but I would like to see, I think this is a chance to have Toni Storm and Britt Baker meet up in the finals and make Toni Storm the next big star in AEW. I think it's only right.
You want to know who I want to see in this tournament? And please, for the love of God, once this match between Shida and Deeb are over, give me Serena Deeb in this tournament, man.
Fuck yeah,
Deeb needs something.
That's my favorite woman on AEW, bro. I love Serena Deeb, but this thing with Shida, man, it's been dragged out too much, man.
Hopefully this is the final match that we have, and then we can get Deeb in the tournament.
Yeah. I love Serena Deeb, though. She's my favorite woman. She's my favorite woman on AEW, yo. Like, I love her.
If it's not Toni Storm, have Serena Deeb win this tournament for me. Seriously. No. I've been wanting Deeb to win the tournament, but if it's not Toni Storm, Toni Storm or Serena Deeb in the finals. I don't care. You book that, I'll be fine with either one.
Hell yeah, but I do firmly believe Britt Baker has to be in the finals to make that next big star.
True. Plus with this promo, if she's not at least far in the tournament, what was all that name calling out and pretty much just shitting all over the women's division for?
Yeah.
So
plus, I would like to see Toni Storm and Ruby Soho and on the way if once Toni Storm makes it to the finals. I'm gonna say that she's gonna make it to the finals
because we do have Toni Storm and Jamie Hayter as the first official match in the tournament. People are saying, "Oh my gosh, I can't wait for this match!" But do you know the reason behind why this match is so intriguing for the fans here in AEW? I mean,
you're asking.
Doesn't have to think hard.
You're asking a lot of questions.
Doesn't have to think. You don't have to think hard to figure this out. But in all seriousness, guys, you know where I'm going with it.
Assumptions going on.
But in all seriousness, guys, this is going to be a great thing for both the men's and women's tournaments. I think whoever wins this has to be like a number one contender for that women's championship, depending on whoever the champion is at this point. You don't just have to get a trophy for this. You should get some kind of opportunity for this, whether that be let's not even talk about the TBS championship. It should be a shot at the world title. Period.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. And plus, it's the first. It's Owen Hart, one of the legends in the game. That unfortunately lost his life, but it's one of the legends. A person that a lot of people still admire to this day.
Yes.
So definitely should be for the world title, and whoever wins, like I said, Britt Baker has to be there, put the next star over. Whoever wins is going to have a lot of momentum going into facing Thunder Rose if that happens.
And if what we're saying is true, and Britt Baker is in finals and she does lose, trust me, guys, it's not gonna lose any type of momentum for Baker in any bit. She's gonna be fine in the loss.
Yeah, definitely. She'll be
fine.
She'll be champ again one day. I believe that. AEW's at a point right now where their women's division is very dull. They don't have a lot of stars, and right now, excuse me, I've been dying the entire podcast.
No problem. Too.
But I just firmly believe right now that their women's division's really dull. They don't really have enough superstars outside of Cargill and Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa, and you have a chance to you got Ruby Soho in there, you got fucking Jamie Hayter in there. Like, how cool would it be if you got Jamie Hayter go over Britt Baker? There's always a possibility. Obviously Tony Storm's not going to lose to Jamie Hayter, but you also have a chance to make Tony Storm establish her already. So, I mean, now's a chance to make that next big star after these women.
For sure. And trust me, with the rest of the field still being filed in, I know a lot of people are not really hyped about more people coming on in here, but I can just see it. They're writing on the wall. I definitely feel some more people are going to be coming in for this thing. I know it sucks, but people are still going to be coming in for this thing, both men and women, I feel.
Yeah, I just wish Tony Kahn would halt on signing men. There's a lot of free agent women, I mean, I'm surprised. Very surprised. Mia Yim ain't here. That's what
Athena.
Bring Athena. Or Tegan Knox.
Tegan.
You know what I'm saying? Those three women right there, you'll be fine.
Yeah. But I do kind of have to agree with some of the other members of the AEW faithful, or just the wrestling community in general. You have a women's division here. I understand it's not the best looking women's division in the world, but you can put some of your other people over. You can use the roster that you got now and use that to your advantage and figure out this tournament in your own way. Yeah, of course you're going to have other people in here, and that's kind of a given. But you can use the roster that you got too. You don't just have to always dip your feet into the free agency pool.
Right.
So we'll see what happens. We then had Serena Deeb versus Hikaru Shida in a video package. And he said that next week on Dynamite in a Philadelphia street fight, this shit should end. It's a Philadelphia street fight. If you're going to do this in a Philadelphia street fight, end it.
Yeah, they got to end. I'm tired of this fucking feud. Get Serena Deeb out of there. I like Shida too, but fuck. How long has it been going on?
It's been going on for a while.
It's been months.
Yeah.
Fuck. One of them got to their next, bro. You don't win this fucking match and just not. Fuck.
The thing is, I like both of them, so I really won't care who wins this thing. But at the end of the day, if you're going to have somebody go into this, first of all, wait. I think Shida's in the tournament, right?
I think.
If she is.
Oh, I don't see the brackets, man. Let me look at the bracket, man.
Yeah. Owen, Hart,
stupid right now.
Tournament. I feel like she's a part of the tournament. So if she's part of the tournament, I don't think she could really lose. But Deeb really can't lose either with the way that things are going on.
All right, I got the women's bracket.
She is in the tournament.
Okay.
She beat Julia Hart. That's right.
Oh, yeah.
She beat Julia Hart 2 weeks ago.
Yep, I do remember. Oh, there's also another match. We'll get to that when you get to that. There's also another match I'm intrigued in if I saw it right, because I looked away really fast, but I didn't think I saw it right. But we'll get to that when you get that. It was at the end of the show where they announced the match next week, and I don't know if I saw the match right, because I looked at it really fast and then I turned away. We'll get to that, because I don't know if that match was real or not.
Well, no, hold on. We can talk about that right now before the main event. What did you see?
We seeing Wheeler and Hardwood next week?
Yes, we did. Yep. That's an Owen Hart Cup tournament qualifier. I saw that for the first time when they showed that graph, and I'm like, wait a second, what the fuck? That can't be happening. I must be hallucinating because that's showing FTR going up against each other. What the fuck are they doing that for?
Oh,
but it's true that we're getting FTR against each other in a qualifier.
Oh my fucking god! Not mad at it, but I didn't know if I saw that right. I'm like, we getting that? Okay. I expect Hart, you know.
Not Harwood. Yeah. That's
That's
just gonna be insane, bro. I did not expect that. Tony, what the fuck are you doing, bro? Why? Like,
got it right here. Yep, winner of that. Yep, Dax Hart. That's crazy, dude. That fucking wow. I hope we get like a Gargano and Ciampa thing. Shit.
that would be cool. That would be cool. But now we get into the match. Justin Roberts introduces the Coffin Match, and Andrade makes his entrance. The Coffin Match actually had some rules this time, unlike the the whole shit with the other match with the Hardys and Butcher and Blade and all that kind of shit. I roasted the shit out of that on this podcast, by the way.
Oh man,
that shit was fucking terrible. But we actually had some rules in this. All you had to do is you just have to incapacitate your opponent enough so that you can stuff him in the coffin and close the lid shut. And now it's the end of the match. The lid actually has some thumbtacks on it, which was kind of a cool detail. That came later on into the match as we'll get through it. But I feel like it was a good match, but I know a ton of people are not happy with Andrade losing, and I know you included.
Nope. Not thrilled at all. Listen,
I kind of expected it though because it's Darby and it's this kind of match.
I'm fucking tired of Darby and Sting soloing an entire army. I am tired of it. Like I'm tired of them in general. Darby, fuck. Andrade, like, what are we doing, Tony? Like, Andrade is one of the best in the world, man. Like, you got to give him some wins. When's the last significant win he had? Matt Sydal?
Probably. That's not even probably a shoot. I mean, that's probably a shoot.
Like, it's stupid. Like, and now what are they going to do? They're going to put over the Hardys? What do the Hardys need to do? Fuck the Hardys. They're already legends. Like, he should have put over Andrade, man. Like,
yeah, I listen, I understand your frustration. I do. Andrade, he is one of the best in the world for sure. His whole coffin match was I understand the purpose of this whole coffin match for Darby Allin. It's pretty much a signature match. We understand all of this kind of stuff, but when you're going up against Andrade and this whole Andrade family office thing, first of all, the Andrade family office needs to fucking go. I hate the Andrade family office. Like, that's not something that Andrade should be a part of. If you're going to have Andrade be a part of a stable, have him legitimately be with people that honestly, I don't know, kind of fit his style. There's a tag team in Ring of Honor. I keep forgetting their name, and I know you're probably going to know it. God damn it. I can't remember their name, but regardless, this tag team kind of fit like a mafia type style, like that Andrade would kind of fit in with. Shoot, I kind of mentioned to you a couple of days ago in the group chat or whatever.
And are you talking about Roosh and Dragon Lee?
Probably. Maybe. I kind of mentioned it to you maybe a couple of weeks ago in the group chat or whatever, but maybe a couple of weeks or a couple of days ago.
You know what would have been cool?
You want to do that, but whatever.
Death Triangle break up and kicking Pac out and putting Andrade in.
I would not mind seeing the Lucha Bros with him. I mean, that kind of fits with them, especially with Oscurto.
And great.
I don't know. Point is, I don't even think Andrade should even be in a stable. The guy is too talented enough to be a part of a stable enough as it is. He's a singles guy, and he just needs to be used better, point blank. But the match was not bad by any means. We kind of had some interference though with, Sting coming into play, and then the goddamn assistant that really doesn't even do shit. Fucking Jose, I think his name is, and shit like that.
He ripped his shirt off, beating the shit out of Darby. I'm like, bro, who is this?
Like, Jose, what are you doing? You're not a wrestler. You're not a wrestler.
He took a crazy thumbtack spot though.
He did. Well, actually, no. I honestly can't even really say he's not a wrestler. Maybe he is an independent wrestler just playing this job, but I don't think he wouldn't be taking that thumbtack spot if it wasn't if he didn't know how to really do it properly. But regardless, at the end of the day, there's so much interference in this shit. The Sting, Jose. These kind of things always turn into clusterfucks, and that's exactly what happened here.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But we come back from picture-in-picture, and Andrade goes for the double knees, but Darby then throws a chair at him. Darby then hits a code red, and shout out to you again, amazing. He throws Darby. What the heck happened here? Oh, I scrolled way down. So he hits a code red, and then Darby hits a coffin drop onto Andrade, but Andrade catches him and hits a suplex on the outside. Andrade then with a slap, and then Andrade throws Darby into the coffin. Darby then blocks the lid being shut, and the lid is lined with thumbtacks. Andrade then carries Darby up the ramp and suplexes him and does a suplex onto the stage. There is like a steel grate that they fell onto, and he did the suplex on that steel grate. Andrade then drags Darby back down to the coffin, but Andrade then throws Darby into the steel steps and plants him on the apron. Andrade then kicks the coffin door off. Or not off, technically. If you kick the door off, we can't finish the match because you have to close the lid. I don't know why it says it like that, but regardless, Andrade then carries Darby up the apron, and then Darby with elbows to the face hits a stunner over the ropes. Darby then hits a tope suicida to both, and both men fall into the coffin. Darby, he's fucking crazy. These dives or whatever, he has no fucks give, and he's just gonna throw himself out there and just see what happens. If he gets hurt, he gets hurt, and he just does not care at this point.
Right.
When I like the moxie of the kid, but be careful, please. A lot of stuff could go wrong on, especially suicide dives, tope suicidas. A lot could go wrong, but that's his style. So he hits a tope suicida, and both men fall into the coffin. Darby then gets out and tries to close the lid. Jose then runs down and blocks it, attacking Darby. Right. Jose then rips off his shirt, goes for the powerbomb, but Darby slams him into the thumbtack coffin lid, and Darby closes the coffin on Andrade, who kind of just seemed like he was just taking a nap in the coffin while he was doing the whole spot to Jose, but he closes the lid, lands on it, and he just lays on top of it, and that's it. Darby Allin picks up the win in his signature match, so to speak, and Sting walks down to celebrate with Darby. Darby and Sting celebrate in the ring, but the Hardys make an appearance and do the delete chants. Now, I don't know if that's a delete to Andrade and Jose and just the AFL, or the delete to Sting and Darby.
It's setting up to the Sting and Darby versus the Hardys.
And I wouldn't mind that. But we'll see how that goes because the Hardys, Sting, and Darby that could be a combustible element just in itself.
Right.
But that's it. That was your Dynamite, and that's how the show goes off the air with the delete gestures and everything in between. Not a bad Dynamite by any means, where there are some questionable
Not bad
decisions. Yes, but at the end of the day, that whole New Japan and AEW show, that was the biggest point of the night, for sure. That's what AEW was kind of building upon throughout that entire time. And we got that. Now we look into the future with that show coming up, with the next few weeks coming up, Double or Nothing on the horizon. We'll see where things go from here.
Excited to see what's going on, man. I mean, what do we got? We got until May 2026 until what?
May 20. May 26th is a Tuesday. So,
okay.
what? Double or Nothing.
Regardless, we got about. So, I'm ready to see how everything goes. I mean, I'm ready to see.
29th.
I'm really intrigued to see how the TNT title picture goes, and honestly, I'm ready for new tag champs. I think Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus. I think they're done. I'm tired.
Yeah, they're losing the titles.
To whom? To whom? No fucking clue. No clue. I don't know who Tony wants to push. I'd assume after this appreciation society, it baffles me how PNP haven't won the titles yet.
Thank you. I've been wanting to be champions for so long.
I've been holding off on it, for considering they are my favorite tag team. I just don't say shit because recently I've picked up a reputation of complaining too much about AEW's booking, but PNP kind of deserved the tag titles, kind of.
I've been called Phil Kahn for reasons unexplainable. I'm fair and honest when it comes to AEW, guys. I like this shit, but once something bad happens, I'm going to fucking tell you.
They kind of, Tony, they kind of deserve it, I mean, it's not like, you have fucking Tarzan Boy and fucking Dino Man running around all over the place. And then you have PNP needs it. That's like, I'd book them to be next. I thought Red Dragon was going to win. I was angry. That I was really angry that they didn't win.
Now, looking at the tag team championship rankings, because usually when it comes to that kind of stuff, you look at the rankings to see what's going on. Obviously, the champions, Jurassic Express, their 2022 record so far is 7-0. Then we go into the actual rankings where we got two teams at 4-1, and they're ranked number 1 and number 2. That is FTR, and that is Top Flight. Interestingly enough. So FTR and Top Flight. Then you got John Silver and Alex Reynolds of the Dark Order at number 3 at 5-2. You got the Gun Club at number 4 at 5-2. And then you got the Acclaimed at number 5 at 5-2.
I think it's
Pride and Powerful aren't even in the top 5.
I think it's time to give the belts to the Acclaimed, man. I think it's time.
I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind that at all. A lot of people are even saying that FTR could possibly win these championships and have all the gold from every promotion. You cannot do the whole belt collector with the tag titles. I don't know about that.
Wouldn't mind it, but I'd like to see, I mean, the Gun Club would be a good option too. I don't mind the Gun Club as people don't like them. My only issue with the Gun Club is I just want Colton and Austin to I just want them to make a name for themselves and not just be known as Billy Gunn's sons. You know what I'm saying? Like they're heel magnets. They got the heel tactics. They're not bad in the ring.
You know, they got everything. I just want them to. I just hope to see one day they slowly drift away from Billy Gunn. Like they like do a storyline where like they tell Billy Gunn like, hey, like we're gonna like go our separate ways. We want to make a name for ourselves and shit like that. So I like to see that one day.
I don't mind Billy being associated with them, but they need their own type of identity and just being with their father, like you said.
Exactly. That's what I mean. They need to get some W's without their dad too. Like
Yes.
their dad don't need to be there all the time. Like, but I do like the Gun Club though. I wouldn't mind if they're the ones to beat Jurassic Express. Like I said, them boys are heel magnets. They know how to play the crowd. They know how to work people. So it wouldn't be bad, but Top Flight would be cool, but
it's face versus face.
Yeah, it's
would
face.
Would I want to see Top Flight turn heel? Honestly, no. No. It's not that I don't think they can't do it, but I wouldn't want to see it.
I wouldn't want to see it either, but I mean, I like Gun Club and the Acclaimed. I like those two for Jurassic Express. I like that.
We'll see what happens. I mean, we got that going on. World title, and well, the men's division right now, Adam Cole is still ranked number 1. Then it's Sammy, then it's Kazarian, then it's Kazarian at number 3. That's interesting. Then it's Penta, and then Punk at number 5. Punk is slowly climbing up there. He's in the rankings now at 5, so he'll get to there before Double or Nothing. And Double or Nothing happens May 29th. So we still got like 5 weeks before.
We got the top 5. Yeah, we got Adam Cole. I don't know why Sammy. I mean, we need the updated ranking. So
yeah, we need the actual updated ones. This is from the 13th.
So it'll probably be up tomorrow, probably.
Yeah.
But we do know it will sometime soon be official. Hangman and Punk are gonna face off for the AEW World Championship.
Yeah. For that, the women's stuff going on there though. The finals of the women's and men's Owen Hart Cup tournaments are actually going to be happening at Double or Nothing. That's already been confirmed weeks ago.
Okay.
But with Jade Cargill, I would think you have to have a TBS title match at the pay-per-view, and I would think you'd have to have Thunder Rosa, the world champion, on the pay-per-view too.
Right.
With Nyla, Serena Deeb, I believe that's Anna Jay, Jamie Hayter, and Marina Shafir at 5.
But judging by the women, though, like who?
I don't know who would go up against both. Honestly,
it's just so slim because in the finals, we could potentially have Britt Baker versus Toni Storm, which it's big in its own right. Thunder Rosa, I don't know who Thunder Rosa would defend her strap against. That's the thing. Like Chris Statlander, we haven't seen her in a minute. I wouldn't mind Chris Statlander, but when was the last time she got a title match all out against Britt?
Yeah. So, and she's been kind of humanizing her character and not really doing much of the whole alien stuff anymore, which is good. I think we can finally see some more of Chris Statlander in that type of sense. She doesn't really need to be an alien for all that long. Plus, that was when she first started in the company. We can humanize her now.
So, I think Chris Statlander wouldn't be bad. I mean, Chris Statlander and Jade Cargill wouldn't be bad either. But it's just this is what I mean about the women's division. It's just so like it's limited with stars. It's very limited with stars, man.
But that's up for Tony to decide and not us, whether we like it or not. That's just how the cookie crumbles. But at the end of the day, guys, we're here for it, and we're going to be watching regardless. I've been watching AEW since day one, so I'm not really going to stop for now. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Thank you, Lou, for joining us. I mean, this was absolutely awesome just to see another type of AEW brand that just it was cool to see it. It was really cool. And we'll talk very soon. If you guys want to continue our intelligence, you guys can go follow us on TikTok at_.
And at Lewis_48722.
There you go. That's double twos. And you guys can go follow us on TikTok. All the rest of the OTB family, their TikToks are down in the description below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Turn on the bell for all notifications. Go to bonfire.com, your exclusive home of Outside the Brand. Go get your t-shirts and sweatshirts and everything else that you might want to find on Bonfire. Tomorrow, I might have an extra for you guys. We got a ton of news this week when it comes to the whole Jon Moxley situation. Is he going to stay in AEW? Is he going to go back in WWE? Apparently, WWE is now interested in FTR to come back. Many stuff, many stuff to cover. So I might be doing an extra tomorrow, and then Friday we got AEW Rampage and Friday Night SmackDown, and we'll do a full show review on that. And then it's another week. Another week goes by, and then we'll be back here for Raw. I don't know how I do it every week, but we'll be back here for Raw. And we'll start a whole new week. All right, guys. Have a good night. It just turned the 21st about 15 minutes ago. We'll talk to you guys soon. And, have a good night, guys. Peace out. Lou, I know you don't like him, but we do it over here, so you don't have to do it. We the ones. We are the ones. Talk to you guys soon. Peace. I know.